All right, 5-3, the Senators win, but all everybody can talk about is the final play of the game. Ridley Greig blocks a shot in his own zone, then goes Hail Mary. Shane Pinto flips a pass, and it's going. He's skating towards it. They meet just at the top of the crease. And what does Ridley Greig do? He says, I'm not just going to score. I'm going to make sure that all the Leaf fans in attendance know that this puck goes in the net. So he winds up, takes a full slap shot, and then he just peels away. No celly, no celebration either. But Morgan Reilly,
time to sell. He just gets smoked in the head.
no worse for wear on the goal. And then Morgan Reilly says, no, I'm not having any of that. Doesn't drop his gloves, doesn't engage him one-on-one, but instead he cross-checks him in the head. So let us know in the comments, what are your thoughts on that play in particular? Is there suspension worthy? Is there an unwritten rule of how to score an empty net goal? Those are all questions that people will have different opinions of. Martian, what's your opinion? If the shoe is on the other foot, and if David Kampf or whoever the third line center is in any given night for the Toronto Maple Leafs puts an exclamation mark on a game like that at home, what would you expect the reaction of the Senators to be?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't expect them to do that. I was just like, who gives a crap? Whatever, the game's over. He hammered it into the net. That's what he's going to do. Like, it's not that big of a deal, man. It's not that big of a deal at all. I don't know why it's something that you need to go after a guy for, and especially the way he did. Like, sure, go over and give him an FU and hit him in the body or whatever. Like, you stick him or something, you don't have to cross-check a guy in the head after something like that. That's a huge overreaction by Morgan Reilly. Like, what a crybaby move by him. So
yeah, and obviously this stems from in the third period. I think it stems from at least Ridley Greig being upset that he was cross-checked about 20 times and he just takes it into his own hands. Now, reaction is starting to come in from the Leaf side, and our Claire Hanna has the exact quote with the follow-up from Sheldon Keefe, Leafs coach. Here's the quote from Claire Hanna. Sheldon Keefe on what he thought of Morgan Reilly's reaction cross-checking Ridley Greig in the head. I'm adding that, but it's where he got him for the empty net slap shot. Quote from Sheldon Keefe. I thought it was appropriate. Our players have the right to react. And when he was asked why it was appropriate, he says it's pretty apparent. I don't think he would have had that same to his voice if one of his players took a cheap shot like that after a game was all but out of reach. And I think, what says a lot about Sheldon Keefe is putting Ryan Reeves out on the ice with 5 seconds left, like he's going to do something about it.
I got two things on this here, Ross, right? You look at Sheldon Keefe and his NHL playing career, he was a scumbag. So, of course, that's the way he's going to, react to that. Now, the second side of that for me is he's got a team of very soft players who are not engaged in this way very often at all. So he probably wants to see more of that kind of thing and that kind of reaction out of them. So I get why he said that the way he said that. But at the same time, he's dead wrong. He's dead wrong, Ross. That's not the way that you should react to whatever. He took a slap shot in an empty net. Who gives a crap, man? It's a joke. But for me, it's like Sheldon Keefe, like, he's trying to get a rise out of his guys. He wants to see more fight of them. So I get where he's coming from on it. But, like, what a dumb take.
And what might be even dumber is reporters, some of them from St. Louis, saying that Ridley Greig learned a valuable lesson about effing around and finding out. I bet you Ridley Greig would do the exact same thing next time. That to me tells me you've never watched Ridley Greig play at any level, because he thrives off of that confrontation. He wants it to be uncomfortable. But look, he didn't cross any line. He didn't do anything in terms of the NHL rule book. But if someone wants to take exception to an unwritten rule, but then break a written rule to do that, then you're Dale Hunter. You're just trying to be a tough guy after the play's over. And to do it when he's not looking, like he's just turning his head, like, I don't know. To me, that says a lot more about Morgan Reilly than it does about Ridley Greig.
Ridley Greig did it, and he will do it again. He has no shame in that. I guarantee you, if you ask Ridley Greig if he would do the same play again, he would say, heck yeah, man, I would do that 100 times over. And I think, Morgan Reilly's going to face some supplemental discipline for that in the last 5 seconds of the game. Bonehead move by him. So that's on them. That's not our fault.
To be clear, he did nothing wrong. Ridley Greig did nothing wrong. And it's fascinating to see the split. Like Martin Biron is on TSN right now explaining why he thinks Reilly won't get suspended. If he doesn't get any suspension for this, that is a complete joke. Like,
there's a clear targeting of the head. How can you not suspend him for that?
Like you have to. It makes absolutely no sense for anybody to think otherwise. And look, if Morgan Reilly thinks this is going to get his team together, I'm looking at the replay right now, and it's so funny that they cut to Ryan Reeves on the bench right after it happens. Like, he's going to do anything? Like, get out of here. He scored a goal on an empty net. What more do you want? It's how he scored. It would have been, you know what he should have done? He should have laid down, turned his stick over, and poker cued it into the net. That would have been hilarious. Like,
yeah.
He took a slap shot.
I think you made pool cue, but yeah, poker cue.
Oh, yeah, that'll do. Billiards. How's that?
That's better.
Amazing. I can't wait to hear from Jacques Martin, and if and when we get that, we will pass it along. But, like, Ian Mendez on Twitter saying, apparently unwritten hockey rules have a stipulation of how you're supposed to score an empty net goal, quote, the right way.
Yeah, like what's he supposed to do? Like, just gently put it in and that's better? How is that better? I don't get it.
Like, if you score backhand, is that showing off?
If you go bar Mexico, is that bad?
I don't know. I guess you can't raise the puck.
I don't know, Ross. You're gonna have to ask Sheldon Keefe. Apparently, it's very apparent.
Very apparent why Ridley Greig deserved to get cross-checked in the head. And it wasn't like he took a slap shot and then turned around and like pointed at the crowd or like rubbed it in their face. He scored a goal. And he decided to take a slap shot to do it. Let's check the rule book. No rule.
I don't think you actually checked the rule book there.
No, I didn't. Ridley Greig was just trying to copy his father, Claude Giroux. He said, I'm in all alone. I saw Claude Giroux just wind up and take a slap shot. He scored. So now I think I'm going to go and do the same thing. It's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out tomorrow and if there is a player safety hearing for this. And should it be in person?
I'm now, after hearing like these reactions, like I'm less and less thinking we're going to hear that, because I'm just thinking about who we're dealing with, what team we're dealing with, the privilege that they have as an organization. I won't be surprised if he gets nothing.
Tavares just gave a one-word answer when he was asked if he's ever seen a player take a slap shot into an empty net. He says, no.
I love how pissed off they are. This is freaking hilarious.
The only thing I hate about this is that the season series is over between the Sens and Leafs, because finally the Leafs show any sort of passion. It's been the ballet of Ontario for 3 games with the softest top 6 in the National Hockey League. I thought they were supposed to add grit in Domi and Bertuzzi. Those guys did absolutely nothing.
Well, Domi scored, but
no, I mean physically.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I'm not going to sit here and tell you Austin Matthews isn't an elite goal scorer. He is, but they're also just soft.
I thought those were good signings for the Leafs. I thought that they actually were adding things that they needed, but apparently not. Those guys are kind of a non-factor.
So the helmet video is out, and well, here through 300 votes, 77% think Ridley Greig should get the helmet. And it sounds like, now we don't have confirmation other than Bisla, who's a citizen, Chicky got the helmet. Interesting.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I thought he had a pretty normal game, so I don't know.
Let's take a peek. What did the team see that we didn't? Well, if we look at his stat line, had the assist, had 2 shots on goal, 2 hits rather, 1 shot on goal, and played 21-16. Maybe it was the fact that, or maybe it's something we don't know about, something behind the scenes, right?
Could be. Might be.
I gave credit to Thomas Chabot for picking up those minutes that were left open by Jake Sanderson's injury. But to me, I mean, I would have given it to Ridley Greig just for the LOLs.
Yeah, same. I don't know. Yeah, maybe there's something going on there that we don't know about.
Instead of Chicky, it would have been Clicky if Leaf fans got to see online the video and it was Ridley Greig. That would have been their entire next 48 hours. Just
And you really would have been there, like all lean, tarps off, little fire helmet on. You would have said something snarky. Probably would have been gold.
Hey, this is the same fan base, those Maple Leaf fans that love the Jose Bautista bat flip. They loved it.
I mean, what? Yeah, that's actually nice. Kind of. I mean, it's a totally different scenario because that was a huge game. This is not. This wasn't. But like, kind of. You're right. Kind of a similar thing. You know, it's a little showboaty or a little bit, you know, a little flary at a time that you don't really need to. But whatever. Who cares? It's a sport. It's fun.
It's literally entertainment. It's literally entertainment. And what the
I was entertained, Ross. I was entertained.
Oh, so was I, dude. I thought it was just I thought it was unreal. Yeah. Adam White saying, if I flip my bat on a grand slam, do I get kicked between the legs? Like, it's the same thing, man. It's so funny. But Leaf fans, obviously, it being Toronto, it's going to blow up into a much bigger story than maybe it would have been before. But if you look at it, and Leaf fans even on Twitter are now showing, like, here's the Perron and Reilly play side by side. Like, it's identical. It's the exact same play.
Yeah, it's a cross check to the side of the head.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
How many games did Perron get again? Remind me.
6.
Oh, so yeah. I mean, Reilly should get a few. We'll see. I think it's a little bit better than the Perron one. Perron one was pretty.
I will be happy with anything more than 2. I think 3 games would be like, yeah.
I think you set the over. I think you set the over under at 2.
Especially when you get a 5-minute major and a game misconduct and there's 5 seconds left. Like, that should almost be it should automatically be a 1-game suspension just based on that.
True. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't count, right? There's 5 seconds left in the game. It's meaningless.
Yeah. I can't.
Honestly, who cares? We got the win, man. Let's vibe.